December is usually painted as a quiet month in the garden. Cold days, slow soil, plants preparing to sleep. But here at Soil Power, we don't do quiet seasons. We do opportunity. And December is one of the best months to create the kind of homemade soil boosters that wake up your garden long before spring arrives. You've probably heard about FPJ, Fermented Plant Juice, and how it's often made with expensive sugar, molasses, or rare plant materials. But today, we're going beyond sugar, beyond the usual ingredients and into something every gardener has unlimited access to. Kitchen scraps, not the rotten, smelly ones. You'll see exactly which scraps. I'm talking about the overlooked, nutrient-packed trimmings you throw away every day that can become one of the most powerful December gardening tools you'll ever use. And the best part? You'll learn an experiment-ready, step-by-step method to compare two different FPJs using two different plants or scraps, just like a real Soil Power field test. If you've ever wanted to know which plant-based ferment actually boosts growth more, this hands-on method will give you results you can trust. Let's dig in. December gives us the perfect environment for fermentation, cool but not freezing weather, stable indoor temperatures, and fewer pests hovering around your ferment jars. But more importantly, December is when many of your plants have slowed down or died back, making it the ideal time to repurpose leftover leafy material or the nutrient-rich scraps from your kitchen. This also happens to be the time when most gardeners are planning, dreaming, and creating amendments for next season. Making FPJ now means you'll enter the new growing season with your own handcrafted, microbe-rich liquid fertilizer. And if you've never tried FPJ before, this is the month to start. It's simple, it's powerful, and the ingredients are literally already in your house. FPJ works because fermentation breaks plant material down into nutrient-rich, microbe-active liquid that plants can absorb instantly through both their leaves and roots. Unlike compost, which takes months to mature, FPJ becomes ready in 7 to 10 days and remains potent for months. Traditional FPJ relies on a 1-to-1 weight ratio of fresh plant material to sugar. Sugar acts as the food source for beneficial microbes and pulls liquid out of the plant tissues. But here's the soil-smart truth most people don't tell you. The plant material you choose determines the strength of your FPJ far more than the sugar itself, and that's where kitchen scraps come in. Many of your common vegetable trimmings are botanically vigor leaves, meaning they contain growth hormones, minerals, and bioactive compounds your garden can use. Some of the best FPJ ingredients hiding in your kitchen include green leafy scraps like kale ribs, spinach stems, and carrot tops, peels, such as pumpkin, squash, or cucumber, herb stems from basil, parsley, or cilantro, outer cabbage leaves that aren't rotten, and broccoli or cauliflower leaves. These scraps often carry more nutrients than the part you eat. Ferment them, and your soil becomes a nutrient recycling machine. Let's walk through the ferment method used by advanced natural farmers, but explain the Soil Power way. Clear, simple, and accurate. Start with fresh material, not old, slimy scraps. The key is life. FPJ only works with material that still carries vitality. You'll need 500 grams of fresh leafy material, plant or scrap of your choice, 500 grams of brown sugar or molasses, one wide-mouth jar, about 1.5 to 2 liters, and a weight or small clean rock to press the plant material down. Chop your material into small pieces and lightly bruise it. This wakes up its internal juices. Mix plant scraps and sugar in layers inside the jar, pressing each layer down firmly. The sugar immediately begins extracting moisture. Seal the jar loosely or use an airlock. Let it ferment for 7 to 10 days in a warm room, never in direct sunlight. When it smells sweet, alcoholic, and plant-like, not rotten, strain it. You should get around 400 to 900 milliliters of dark, rich liquid. This is your FPJ concentrate. Store it in a cool, dark cabinet. Use within a few months. FPJ is powerful. You don't pour it directly on your plants. Here are the correct field-tested Soil Power dilutions. For foliar spray on leaves, it's 1 to 500. That means 1 part FPJ to 500 parts water. For a 10-liter sprayer, you need just 20 milliliters of FPJ. For a soil drench at the roots, use 1 to 1,000. For 10 liters of water, use 10 milliliters of FPJ. For seedlings or stressed plants, dilute even further, 1 to 2,000. This protects them from shock. If you have a 100 square meter garden, a 10 to 12 liter foliar spray covers it perfectly. One 500 milliliter batch of FPJ will last months. That's the magic. It's cheap, it's strong, and a little goes a long way. This is the part my Soil Power family loves. Real experiments, real results, real learning. Instead of guessing which FPJ works better, we're doing a direct, recipe-based comparison. You'll harvest or gather 2 plant types, maybe comfrey and broccoli leaves or spinach stems and pumpkin peels, and create 2 separate FPJs. Then you'll apply them to identical plants and track which one gives better results. Here's the Soil Power method. Harvest or collect 2 materials that interest you. Make 2 FPJs using the same 1-to-1 recipe. Label everything clearly, FPJ A and FPJ B. Now prepare 2 sets of identical plants, tomato seedlings, pepper seedlings, leafy greens, anything with at least 6 plants so each FPJ treats at least 3 plants. Before applying anything, record the plants as they are, measure height, count leaves, take pictures. This gives you your baseline. Apply your first treatment as a 1 to 1,000 soil drench. Mix 10 milliliters of your FPJ in 10 liters of water and water your test plants. Your secondary applications will be foliar sprays at 1 to 500, once every 7 to 10 days. Every week, take pictures of both groups. Record new growth, leaf color, number of new leaves, time to first flower, fruit set if applicable, and any stress signs. After 6 to 8 weeks, the difference becomes clear. One FPJ almost always performs better, and that's the one you add permanently to your garden toolkit. Gardeners love this experiment because you actually see your FPJ's power rather than relying on guesswork. I've tested dozens of ingredients over the years, and here's the Soil Power truth. The most effective FPJs come from the fastest growing, greenest plant material, not the fanciest. Kitchen scraps usually come from vigorously growing vegetables harvested at peak condition. That means they contain growth stimulants, chlorophyll-rich tissues, high levels of nitrogen and minerals, and fresh enzymes and plant hormones. When fermented correctly, these compounds convert into immediately available forms. Plants respond rapidly. That's why many gardeners notice greener leaves within days of a foliar FPJ spray, and because kitchen scraps vary, your garden absorbs a more diverse blend of nutrients than with single-plant FPJs. In a typical 100 square meter garden, a smart December-made FPJ works like this. During the early season, or seedling stage, you want to use a 1 to 2,000 dilution as a weekly spray to encourage gentle early growth. Then, when your plants hit the vegetative stage, switch to a 1 to 500 foliar spray and a 1 to 1,000 soil drench. You can use these weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how vigorous your plants are looking. Once you reach the flowering stage, you should reduce FPJ frequency to avoid runaway leaf growth. Use it only every 2 to 3 weeks. In the fruiting stage, FPJ becomes more of a supportive spray, not the main nutrient. Combine it with compost teas or other soil power boosters. By the time your December FPJ batches are used up, you'll have months of growth data and a clear favorite scrap-based ferment. If your FPJ smells rotten, like sulfur, sewage, or even vomit, that means you've used material that was too old or contaminated. Always begin with fresh, clean scraps. If you see mold growing on top, just scrape it off. White mold is normal, but green or black mold means you need to start over. If your plants burn or turn yellow, your dilution is just too strong. Try reducing it to 1 to 1,000 or even 1 to 2,000 for a few weeks. And hey, if nothing seems to happen, it's usually just a cold weather slowdown, so just be patient. Every gardener who tries this experiment becomes a better grower. You learn firsthand which plant materials create the strongest ferments. You build your own microbe-rich amendment from what would otherwise be waste. You reduce your costs, improve your soil structure, and activate beneficial microbes. And, honestly, every season you get to enhance your recipe. Instead of relying on generic advice, you become the expert of your own soil. That's what Soil Power is all about. Turning gardeners into soil scientists using simple, accessible tools. December isn't a dead month. It's actually the month you create the fuel your garden will run on next year. By going beyond sugar and tapping into everyday kitchen scraps, you give your soil living energy, your plants a stronger start, and yourself a deeper understanding of how nature feeds itself. So, go ahead and try the experiment. Make 2 FPJs, test them, record your results, and when you discover which kitchen scrap truly supercharges your soil, you'll never throw it away again. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Soil Power, share this article with your fellow gardeners, and keep building a community that grows smarter every season. Your soil has power. Let's unlock it, together.